For 20 years, Lena opened the zoo gates before the first light of day touched the treetops. She wasn't just a zookeeper, not to the animals. To them, she was routine. Reassurance. Safety. She knew every sound they made. Every habit they followed. And that morning? It felt normal. Until it didn't. Before we continue, if you love learning how true stories can protect your health, take a moment to subscribe to Health Chronicles. You'll find practical lessons in every story we tell. Lena stopped by the primate enclosures, as she always did. Chemo, one of the capuchin monkeys, was pacing. Fast. Erratic. His eyes were wide, his breathing heavy. This wasn't like Chemo. He had always been curious. Calm. Friendly with the staff. But now, something was wrong. He bit at the cage. Scratched at himself. His movements were sharp, unnatural. Lena frowned. She called a vet tech. Probably just stressed, they said. Too many school kids lately. Lena didn't argue. But in her gut, she felt it. This was something else. Later that day, a young intern stopped by Chemo's enclosure. Laughing, feeding, unaware. In an instant, Chemo lunged. A scream. A bite. Blood. The intern rushed to rinse the wound. Just a scratch, he joked. I've had worse from my cat. But Lena had seen too much over the years. Sometimes, it's the smallest wounds that let the worst in. That night, while others left for the evening, Lena stayed behind. Alone in her office, surrounded by old notebooks and glowing screens. Aggression. Restlessness. Biting. She searched. And there it was, the word that made her fingers freeze. Rabies. A virus ancient in name, but still deadly. Still present. Still moving quietly through nerves, long before symptoms appear. And by the time they do, it's too late. Lena checked the clock. The intern had already gone home. Still smiling. Still laughing. Bandage on his hand. And possibly, a virus in his veins. Lena wanted to call someone. But who? There was no diagnosis. No proof. Just instinct. Just worry. But one thing was certain in her mind. This was not just another bite. This was not just another day. The clock had started ticking. And no one, not the zoo, not the city, had any idea. 3 days passed. The intern didn't show up. At first, no one noticed. It wasn't unusual for someone to take a day off. But by the 4th day, Lena noticed. His name was missing from the schedule. No morning jokes. No footsteps in the hallway. The zoo felt quieter. Lena drove to his apartment. His mother opened the door. Eyes tired. Voice shaking. He's been vomiting, burning up. Doctor says it's just the flu. But Lena knew. This wasn't the flu. Back at the zoo, her heart pounded. She went straight to Chemo's enclosure. Empty. The monkey had died overnight. Just another stressed animal, the staff thought. But Lena noticed everything. She opened her old notebook, the one where she tracked unusual animal behavior. 2 weeks ago. Stray dogs had been spotted near the zoo's perimeter. One had bite marks. That same week, a wild bat was found dead inside the aviary. No one had connected the dots. But Lena could see the pattern forming. A virus can move in ways we don't always see. A bat. A stray dog. A monkey. Now, a young intern. She drove to the hospital. Asked to speak with the attending physician. Rabies? He blinked. Unlikely. We haven't had a human case here in over 20 years. Exactly why no one is looking for it, Lena replied. The doctors agreed to run tests. But tests take time. And rabies doesn't wait. Back at the zoo, Lena checked the security logs. Dozens of school children had visited the petting area that week. Some had touched chemo through the bars. Handlers had worked in the enclosure. Volunteers had come and gone. Lena made a list: every visitor, every staff member. 62 people. 62 chances for the virus to leap again. She called public health. They hesitated. "We should wait for confirmation," they said. But Lena had seen what waiting could cost. Rabies isn't patient. It incubates, silently. And when it strikes, it is too late. In that moment, Lena made a decision. She wouldn't wait. She couldn't. Because sometimes, awareness is the only vaccine we have. Before we continue, if you believe that one voice can make a difference, take a moment to subscribe to Health Chronicles. Stories like this remind us why awareness matters. Lena stood in front of the city's health department. A simple folder clutched in her hands. Inside, handwritten notes, maps, visitor lists, CDC protocols. Everything she had pieced together. Everything the city needed to see. The official glanced at the folder. "Ma'am, we appreciate your concern. But there's no confirmed outbreak." "No," Lena replied. "Not yet." She spoke quickly, about chemo, the stray animals, the dead bat, the sick intern. She wasn't asking for panic. She was asking for action. A citywide alert. Immediate post-exposure vaccinations. A full inspection of every enclosure. The room was quiet. Too quiet. Then came the word she feared most. "We'll need to wait for lab confirmation." But rabies doesn't wait. And neither would Lena. She did something she hadn't done in decades. She went public. Local news. Radio stations. A post on the zoo's outdated Facebook page. "If you visited the petting area in the past 7 days, please seek immediate medical attention." It spread like wildfire. Parents called hospitals. Teachers canceled field trips. And suddenly, people started listening. Back at the hospital, the test results came in. Positive. Chemo had rabies. And so did the intern. The city finally moved into emergency mode. Within 24 hours, over 40 people, children, staff, volunteers, received post-exposure shots. Some were terrified. Others angry. But most were grateful. One mother clutched Lena's hand. "I didn't even know a monkey could carry it." Lena smiled, though her eyes were tired. "Most people don't," she said. "That's the danger." The city moved fast. Now that the danger was real and known, everything changed. Emergency protocols launched. Hospitals stocked post-exposure vaccines. Veterinarians offered free rabies shots for pets. Schools sent notices home to parents. Public service announcements ran across local TV and radio. And in the center of it all, stood Lena. Not a hero. Just a zookeeper who had refused to be silent. At the zoo, changes came quickly. New signs posted at every enclosure. "Animal bites, even small ones, can be serious. Report immediately." Handlers were retrained. Visitors were educated. Barriers were strengthened. And for the first time, schoolchildren were taught a simple truth. Even animals we love can carry hidden dangers, but we can protect ourselves with knowledge. Lena was invited to speak at a local school. She told the story simply. No medical jargon. No panic. Just the truth. Rabies still exists. But it is preventable, if we act quickly. If we listen early. One child raised a hand. "Can animals get sick, like us?" Lena smiled. "Yes," she said. "And sometimes, we get sick because of them. But if we take care of them, vaccinate them, understand them, respect their space, we protect ourselves too." The city returned to calm. But it wasn't the same city. Doctors now asked new questions. Pet owners lined up to vaccinate animals they once thought were safe without it. And children, the next generation, learned not just to love animals, but to respect them. Because all it took was one person, paying attention, asking questions, refusing to be quiet, to stop a silent threat before it became a tragedy. Lena's story reminds us of something simple, but powerful. Sometimes, the most dangerous threats are the ones we no longer think about. Rabies isn't a disease of the past. It's still here. And as this city learned, all it takes is one missed sign to put many lives at risk. So, what can we all learn from this? Understand how rabies spreads. Rabies is transmitted through the saliva of infected animals, usually by a bite or scratch. It moves through the nerves quietly. By the time symptoms appear, it is almost always fatal. Know which animals can carry rabies. Wild animals, like bats, foxes, raccoons. Stray dogs and cats. Even zoo animals, as we saw with Chemo the monkey. Act immediately after any bite or scratch. Wash the wound thoroughly with soap and water, for at least 15 minutes. Seek medical care right away, even if the animal looked healthy. Early post-exposure vaccination is nearly 100% effective, but only if given early. Protect your pets. Keep all dogs, cats, and ferrets vaccinated against rabies, even indoor pets. Do not allow pets to roam freely where they might encounter wildlife. Support awareness in your community. Share this knowledge with friends and family. Help teach children. If you're bitten or scratched, tell an adult immediately. Support local rabies vaccination campaigns. The key takeaway is simple. Rabies is almost always fatal once symptoms appear. But it is also almost always preventable, if we act early. Lena didn't wait for permission. She didn't wait for confirmation. She paid attention. She asked questions. She refused to be silent. And because of that, dozens of lives were saved. That is the power of awareness. That is the power of one voice. So, the next time you hear, "It's just a scratch," or, "That animal looks fine," remember Lena. And remember that prevention starts, not with panic, but with awareness. If this story moved you, taught you something new, or made you think twice about what's truly dangerous, please take a moment to like this video. It helps us reach more people with life-saving health information. And if you'd like to keep learning practical lessons through true stories like this one, subscribe to Health Chronicles.